Today, I'm going to be comparing 5 ultralight budget down jackets. My criteria for this comparison was that the jackets have to be under $100 and under 10 ounces. I'm very excited to show you guys what we're working with. Enough talking, let's take a look. Now, quick disclaimer, all of these jackets were bought with my own money. This is not a sponsored video. We have the Decathlon MT100, Uniqlo ultralight 3D cut down jacket with the hood, Uniqlo ultralight 3D cut down jacket without the hood, NATUREHIKE 10D down jacket, and lastly, we have this no brand jacket from AliExpress. As with all of my videos, I want to save you guys time, so I'm going to let you know right now my recommendation and favorite jacket. However, that being said, I would highly recommend watching the whole video because there are lots of variables between each one of these jackets, and some of those I prefer, however some of those you may prefer. Let's start off with my favorite and the one I recommend the most, the NATUREHIKE 10D down jacket. This is an excellent jacket, has a lot of features with one huge flaw, and that is you may most likely need to do alterations for this jacket. Alterations with a sewing machine. I have a video of that in the corner above. For the people who don't want to use a sewing machine and are in the European market, I would recommend the Decathlon MT100. Now, for the US market, this jacket has gone up in price recently, now reaching $100. However, I believe in Europe, it's still at around 60 pounds, which is about $75 USD. For my friends in the States, we've got the Uniqlo ultralight down jacket. This jacket came in at, I believe, $80. You can sometimes find it on sale as well. The great thing about this jacket is that it also allows you to try it on in person, if there's a Uniqlo store near you, that is, and you can also return it in person. For those of you who want a really budget option, I would recommend the no brand AliExpress down jacket. Don't expect this jacket to keep you as warm as the others. However, for the price, you can't beat this. Lastly, we have the Uniqlo ultralight down jacket hoodless version. As you can see, the tags are still on this jacket. That's because I am going to return this jacket. I do like the idea of having a hoodless jacket. However, this weighs more than the hooded NATUREHIKE 10D jacket. So there's no benefit in taking this jacket since it weighs more and has one less feature. Now that we've gone over my favorite and my recommendations, let's go inside, take a look at some of the specs and features so you can determine which jacket is best for you. Since this is an ultralight budget down jacket comparison, I think it's important to start with the price and the weight. On my right hand side, we have the most expensive jacket, the Decathlon MT100, which comes in at $100. Second, we have the Uniqlo hooded jacket, which comes in at $90. Then we have the NATUREHIKE 10D jacket, which comes in at $86. After that, the hoodless Uniqlo jacket, which comes in at $80. And lastly, the no brand AliExpress jacket, which comes in at $20. Now, all of these prices are retail prices from the United States. You can often find these jackets on sale, and I know specifically for the Decathlon in the European market, you can actually find this cheaper than $100. Before I go into the weights of these jackets, I do need to let you know the sizes, since size does matter. Decathlon, size small. Uniqlo, size small. NATUREHIKE, size medium. Uniqlo hoodless, size small. And no brand AliExpress, size extra large. These are all men's sizing. Now, what surprised me with the weight is that, believe it or not, they are all 9.2 ounces except for the hoodless Uniqlo jacket, which came in at 9 ounces. Now keep in mind, that's with the tags on. Without the tags, it'd be slightly less. I did weigh them several times just to be sure. But yeah, all of them 9.2 ounces. This one's 9 ounces. Price and weight isn't everything though. There are many other factors you have to look out for to determine which down jacket is best for you. Let's get these jackets on body and take a look at how they fit and what features they have. I just came back from Costco and I picked up this down jacket from Eddie Bauer for $35. God bless Costco. I love that place. It really is an adult playground. Anyways, this down jacket also came in at 9.2 ounces on my scale here, which I brought to Costco, funnily enough. I'm starting to think this thing is not that accurate. I'll probably buy another scale to remeasure the jackets later. This jacket, again, $35. It is 650 fill power. I got a size medium, 100% nylon. I think it will be a great contender compared to the other down jackets just because of how light it is, how lofty it is, and how large these baffles are. It's snowing, as you can see outside. Well, it stopped snowing, but there was snow on the ground. I'm gonna get this jacket on, shovel some snow, see how it feels. But from now on, throughout the video, you're going to see this jacket. Let's first try on the Decathlon. All of these jackets feature a single front zip, 2 hand pockets, and a hood, other than the Uniqlo hoodless jacket. The Decathlon specifically has a bottom cinch that is adjustable, zippers on both front pockets. The left pocket can be turned into a stuff sack, which you can stuff the jacket into. There are no interior drop pockets, and there is no adjustment for the hood. However, there is a elasticated cinch on the hood. The overall fit of the Decathlon is what I would describe as athletic, which means it hugs me fairly tight, however, not uncomfortably, but it's definitely not boxy. Let's take a look at the Uniqlo next. The Uniqlo also has zippers on both of the hand pockets. You cannot stuff the Uniqlo in any of its pockets. There is no bottom cinch that can be tightened. However, the bottom is elasticated. The hood also does not have any adjustability, and there is no elastic on the hood of the Uniqlo, which means it fits very loosely around your head. The good thing about the Uniqlo though is it does have interior drop pockets, one on each side. The overall fit of the Uniqlo is what I would describe as boxy and casual. There's a lot more room in this compared to the Decathlon. Up next, we have the hoodless version. As you can probably imagine, the hoodless version fits very similar and has the same features that the hooded version has. Zip pockets, interior drop pockets, no bottom cinch, however it's elasticated, and no hood. The fit is also very similar, boxy and fairly roomy. Let's take a look at the NATUREHIKE. The NATUREHIKE is also fairly similar to the Uniqlo. However, it does have one special feature that I really like that I'll talk about shortly. Firstly, the hand pockets are not zippered. There is no bottom cinch, nor is it elasticated. There are 2 interior drop pockets. They also have this side zip that I believe is for ventilation. However, in my opinion, it doesn't really add much, and if anything, it just adds to the weight. The one thing that I do really love about the NATUREHIKE is that there are hood adjustments. One in the back as well. The reason why I like hood adjustments is because, well, let's say you're around camp you're just chilling, then you can have the hood very loose and relaxed, so that way it's not tight around your face. Versus if you're going to be hiking, you're going to be looking left and right, you're going to want to tighten that hood around your head, so that way the hood moves with your head as you turn. Well, actually, you probably won't be wearing your down jacket while you hike, but you guys know what I mean. The overall fit of the NATUREHIKE is very boxy and wide. Because there is no cinch or elastic at the bottom of the hem, it is very boxy and open. I have actually done a modification to my NATUREHIKE down jacket, not this one, but another one. I'll leave a video in the description showing you how to modify this jacket in order to fit you better. Let's take a look at the No brand. The No brand AliExpress jacket has 2 zipped front pockets. You cannot stuff the jacket in either of the pockets. The bottom does not have an adjustable cinch, however it is elasticated. There are 2 interior drop pockets, and the hood does not have any adjustments, however it is elasticated. The overall fit is a middle ground between the Decathlon and the Uniqlo. It feels less boxy than the Uniqlo, however a little bit more wide than the Decathlon. Lastly, we have the Eddie Bauer. I realize that wearing a black fleece is probably not the best thing to wear with the Eddie Bauer. Hopefully you guys can see everything fine. The Eddie Bauer has zipped frontal pockets. There is no bottom cinch, nor is it elasticated. The interior has the 2 drop pockets. The hood does not have any adjustments, however it is elasticated. And the fit of the Eddie Bauer, I'd say, is very similar to the Uniqlo. It fits boxy. Only main difference is that the hem is fairly looser because there is no elastic. Now that we've tried on all of the jackets and have taken a look at the exterior features, let's take a closer look at each jacket to see some of the features you may not be able to tell just by looking at it.
Using a macro lens, let's take a closer look at the shell material. The materials these jackets are made out of are all very similar, and they have a very similar texture and feel in hand. Unsurprisingly, under a macro lens, they all look the same. The exception being the NATUREHIKE, which has a grid-like weave to it. However, the hand feel is similar to the rest of the jackets. The NATUREHIKE, being a thinner material, is also see-through under certain lighting. There are so many different variables when it comes to temperature rating with a jacket. For example, do you run hot? Do you run cold? What's the humidity like? Are you sitting at camp or are you going hiking? Etc, etc. Because of this, I'm not going to give you a temperature rating. However, I will try to be as objective as possible and measure the loft height for each jacket. With that information, you can compare it with a jacket you may have at home. It doesn't even have to be an ultralight down jacket, it can be any down jacket. Compare the loft height and you can determine whether the jackets that I am showing you are going to be warmer or colder. In the interest of time, I'm only going to mention the jacket that has the most loft and the jacket that has the least loft. However, I will include this information along with all the information of these jackets in an Excel linked in the description below. The hoodless Uniqlo jacket has the highest body loft height at 1 5/16 of an inch. The Decathlon and the No brand are the losers at 14/16 of an inch. An honorable mention goes out to the hooded Uniqlo jacket, which has a bottom baffle that is larger than all the other baffles. The bottom baffle comes in at 1 10/16 of an inch, while the regular body baffles come in at around 14/16 of an inch. The Excel sheet will also include the loft height for the sleeves as well as the hood. There is no winner that has the best of all categories. However, both Uniqlo jackets, the NATUREHIKE and the Eddie Bauer all have a lot of loft height in all areas of the jacket. The Decathlon and the No brand are both lacking. Next up, we are going to be comparing the area of each baffle relative to the amount of thread. The reason this is important is because the stitch lines on a jacket do not have insulation. For each jacket, I am going to be comparing the baffle right under the armpit. Please keep in mind that these measurements are far from exact. However, they should still give us a good understanding on which baffle is the largest yet has the least amount of thread. The Eddie Bauer is the winner of this segment. The baffle measured has an area of 43.5 inches with only 29 inches of thread. This gives it a thread to area ratio of 0.67. On the other hand, the loser is the Decathlon, which has a baffle area of only 18 inches, while the thread perimeter is 22 inches. This gives it a thread to baffle ratio of 1.22.
Durability is very important in gear because you want it to not only last a long time so you don't have to buy another piece of gear, but you don't want it to fail on you while you're using it. Unfortunately though, I can't speak much regarding the durability of these products just because there's 6 jackets here and I don't have the time to really put in thorough testing for each one of them in regards to durability. Even if I did, let's say, use a jacket for a year and realized there was an issue with the stitching, there are so many different variables that come into play. For example, maybe I just got a lemon, maybe the environment I was in, I was treating it too harshly, maybe I was doing bushwhacking when I really should not have been doing bushwhacking with a down jacket on. So hopefully you understand, due to all the different variables, as well as my limitations in terms of time, that I can't make any solid claims for durability for any of these jackets. As long as you treat these jackets with care, they should all last you about the same amount of time. By care, I mean making sure to wear a shell layer if you're going to be doing any bushwhacking, rock scrambling, sitting next to a fireplace. If you're going to be washing and drying these jackets, make sure to do it on a gentle cycle, make sure to use a wash bag, and make sure the heat is not too hot. Objectively speaking, the NATUREHIKE 10 denier ultralight jacket has the thinnest outer material at 10D. However, as mentioned, this shouldn't be a huge issue as long as you remember to wear a shell layer. Some of these companies do have warranties though, which is great in case something does happen. The Eddie Bauer has a 1-year limited warranty. The Uniqlo and Decathlon are a little bit vague in regards to their warranty and how long the period is, so I would take theirs with a grain of salt. Unfortunately, the NATUREHIKE and the No brand jacket from AliExpress, they do not have warranties. All of these jackets have return policies, even the ones from AliExpress. Both AliExpress jackets, the NATUREHIKE and the No brand, are not RDS certified. That does not necessarily mean that the down inside has been live plucked from the bird. In fact, I believe most down from China is actually a byproduct of the meat industry and not live plucked. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that these down jackets are 100% ethical in terms of their sourcing. The bird that it came from may have been force-fed. It may have lived in a very cruel environment. Unfortunately, that's something we don't know, and that is something that the RDS certification also does protect against. I always recommend people to buy local, buy secondhand, buy made in the USA, ethically sourced, etc. However, not all of those things are achievable, and I do not pass any judgment to anyone who can't. Hopefully, with all the information I've provided so far, you've been able to make a decision on which jacket is best for you. However, if you're still on the fence, let me go over a few final thoughts on these jackets and what I would recommend. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that all of these jackets are excellent in their own right, depending on your budget, depending on the features, etc., etc. You may have a different choice, but these are just my personal opinions. Firstly, let's start with the Decathlon. The Decathlon is the most expensive here. It has the least amount of insulation. The baffles are the smallest. So I find it hard to recommend, especially if you're in the United States. If you're in Europe and it's cheaper, then it may be worth considering. Next, we got the Uniqlo. This is an excellent jacket. However, the fit leaves something to be desired, at least in my opinion. I forgot to mention this in the try-on, but the Uniqlo is actually not as long as the Eddie Bauer and some of the other jackets. It fits fairly short on me. I am 6'1", and because of this, I'm not too satisfied with the jacket. But for some of you who may be shorter, this may be perfect for you. The hoodless Uniqlo jacket suffers from a similar fit issue as the hooded version. At first, I thought the no hood was going to be a detriment to it. However, after thinking about it, a hoodless jacket does have some advantages, especially if you are a quilt user. Okay, if you're a quilt user and you are sleeping in very cold environments, you're most likely going to have to bring a balaclava or a down hood. Now, the reason why you bring this is because a quilt does not have a hood like a traditional sleeping bag, so you have to keep your head warm. You may be wondering, well, couldn't you use the hood of any of these jackets as a hood for your sleeping quilt? Yes, you can. However, it's not the same as bringing a separate down hood, because a separate down hood allows you to adjust it and cinch it down so you're only exposing your nose and mouth. However, all of these jackets, even the ones that have adjustments, which is only one of them, if you adjust it to the tightest setting, you're still going to be exposing a lot of your cheeks and chin. So even if you bring a hooded jacket or a hoodless jacket, I am going to have to bring a down hood regardless. And if that's the case, then I may as well take the hoodless jacket and save some weight. However, the weight savings on this specific hoodless jacket is only 0.2 ounces compared to the hooded jackets. For 0.2 ounces, I'd rather just stick with the heavier hooded jackets, but have the convenience of a hood that is attached, so that way, when I do need my hood, and let's say I'm wearing the hoodless jacket, I'm not rummaging in my pack trying to find the separate down hood. So I think it's a good option if it was slightly lighter. Moving on to the No brand, I can only recommend this if you are on a very, very tight budget or you are in temperatures that are not actually that cold, because the insulation in this jacket is not on par to all of the other jackets. We've got the final two. Now, in the beginning of this video, I said my favorite was this jacket, the NATUREHIKE. And it still is. However, it's no longer my top recommendation. My top recommendation is the Eddie Bauer, actually. The issues with the NATUREHIKE is the fit. I think that's going to turn around a lot of people to this jacket. You can get it altered with a sewing machine. You can bring it to a tailor. However, that's just another cost, and I don't think people want that hassle. That is why my number one recommendation is the Eddie Bauer. The loft height is very high. The baffle size is the largest. The price is $35 at Costco though. But still, even at $69 on Amazon, that is an excellent, excellent price. I'd still pay $69, even if it was $100. It's still worth it. I still think it's better than the Decathlon. The length of the jacket is a little bit longer than the Uniqlo, so you have slightly more coverage. You've got the interior drop pockets that the Decathlon does not have. You have the elastic around the hood that the Uniqlo does not have. Although this is not as great as actual adjustments, this is still better than not having any elastic at all. It's a wonderful jacket, and I can't recommend this enough. I would recommend all of you guys to check your Costco's. If you live near one, and if you have a membership, check your Costco, your local Costco immediately, because I'm not sure why this is so cheap. I'm not sure if it's like a clearance thing. They may not restock. My Costco, they were already running low on sizes and colors, so I don't think it's here to stay. Thank you all for watching. This video took a lot of time and money, so if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on which jacket you think is best in the comments. If you think I missed any jackets, please let me know and I'll try to check them out in the future. Thanks everyone for watching and happy trails.